Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds and another episode of our challenge. 1,000 Liverpool fans is my aim to interview in this challenge. This is episode number 4. Tommy is our new recruitment on this challenge, and he's going to tell us about being a Liverpool fan from Liverpool, from born and bred Scouser, pretty much grown up on football. And it's a football city, isn't it, Liverpool, Tommy? It's a football city. That's all you know when you grow up in Liverpool. That's all you know in most places in England. But Liverpool's a fully football city. Blues versus Reds.
Yeah.
First question. Was it always going to be red?
Always, mate. Just because of all my family, really. Most of them are Reds. My half fella, my granddad. So yeah, it was always going to be red, mate.
Any Blues at all in the family?
Yeah,
No, just all Reds.
Yeah, we've got Blues. Got a good few, to be fair, but I'd say more so Reds.
I couldn't imagine having that close of a rivalry in the family, though. Like, obviously, I'm from a different part of the country. I'm not from Liverpool, but that rivalry to me, I see the biggest rival for me is Man United, because I've gone around other Man United fans, I've gone around Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
For you, what is the biggest rivalry for you two? Because you've been in that situation with the Blues as well.
For me, it's more Man United. I think because of the year that I grew up in, because you've got family members who are Blues and stuff like that, you got to remember when I started going a game, which was like mid-80s, you'd have Everton fans in the Kop with you. You'd have them sitting all around the ground. So but I just think as the years have gone on, more so from the Everton side, definitely, they've just become a little bit bitter in a sense, and that's kind of stopped, which is a bit sad, really, because, as I say, I've got family members. I'll wind them up and stuff like that, have a good laugh at them type of thing. But at the end of the day, your family, you're from the same city. So, yeah, I don't like that, the way it's gone, but I suppose it is what it is. But as far as United go, obviously, because they were type of our greatest challenger, if you like, going back to the even 70s, 80s, isn't it? They wanted to be where we were. They eventually done that. Once Fergie took over, we kind of tailed off for a long time, really. So it just created this thing. They're only up the road, aren't they? They're 62. So, yeah, there's always been that little bit between us, like.
It's funny, really, how things change around. And like you just said there, the rival to Man United. We grew up in the 90s. You're probably about similar age to me. You grew up in the 90s watching United just win title after title after title.
Yeah.
We're literally on the verge now of joining them on 20 titles.
Yeah.
And watching Man United pretty much in I won't say a relegation battle, but they are pretty much as embarrassing as we've ever been. We've had some worse teams than this Man United team, by the way. We've had some way worse teams than this Man United team. We've never been this position where they're in right now. How good is it to see that flip, though? How good is it to see that flip right now?
That's fucking great. Well, sorry for swearing. It's great.
I'll go on this channel, mate. I'll go on this channel.
You know what? I'm. You know, like I spoke about this with an Everton fan on another podcast, and for me, I'd never ever want Everton to go down. That's the first fix you look for, alongside with United. But I've got to be honest, there's nothing I'd love more than United to go down. The shame is this season is that the three that are down there, they're going, aren't they? There's no way they're going to get pulled into it. But the form at the minute for them is terrible. Yeah.
What's your earliest memory? Is it something to do with it? Is it a live game or is it something different? The earliest memory of being a fan?
You know what's mad? One of my earliest memories, we played. Do you ever remember Barnes when he scored against QPR? I think we won 4-0. And my memory of that is before we go to the game, my dad would always go for a pint, get a chippy, all that. And he'd always get me a badge. And he bought me this badge I really, really wanted for ages. So I got it. And when we scored, he's jumped up, punched me full on in the face, and knocked me badge off onto the floor. Couldn't find the badge. I was crying my eyes out. But that is just one memory that sticks out. And it was that game, that Barnes was unbelievable against QPR. And as I say, mate, that era of Barnes and the latter stages of obviously Dalglish being player manager and that. Obviously Rushy and Beardsley, all that.
You mentioned your dad, and that's where I got my spot from Liverpool from. How important is that bond between you? Obviously, your family. Family is all the Liverpool fans, you say there, and a few others as well. But how important is that bond between father and son in terms of football, you think?
It's everything, mate. I mean, God, I take me lads to the game now, and obviously taking my young lads, sends loads of memories back to me when I went with my dad, and we used to go to the away games, all that, and it was just a great time. As I say, everyone in Liverpool loves the footy, and as sharing that with your half fella is one of the best things you can do. So it was great, and as I say, all the family, friends, all Reds, you'd all meet up, and it was just it was a brilliant day, to be honest. You'd meet them in the pub and all that. It was so different back in the day to what it is now. I got to be honest with you. But yeah, it was just amazing, mate, to be honest.
Funnily enough, I actually saw you do a TikTok the other day, actually, and you was outside the ground, and you were saying like how different it is now.
Yeah.
What is the biggest difference?
The big difference for me is, I was talking about this before, and I think that the video we're done, it never come across right. I'm not the brightest spark, let me tell you. So it never come across right. So basically, the ground now is full of fans from all over the world, which I totally understand. Everybody wants to come and watch the Reds. No problem with that. Doesn't matter to me or any proper Red, really. Where you're from, doesn't really matter. I think the big thing, what's happening is that they come in the game, Liverpool, FSG, they're more worried about the money rather than the fans. So, yes, we know that fans will come who've only been in the game twice in their life and will sing their arse out. But what it's doing is it's killing the atmosphere off, because there is a lot of fans who are coming who don't understand. Well, they don't know the songs, they don't understand the culture and everything behind the club. So, should they be denied from going to the game? No, I don't think they should be, because, it's like me. I've been to Barcelona, I've been here, I've been there. I'm a day tripper when I go there. What I tend to do is I'll learn what I can, and I will get involved, and my two lads will. But it's just having a massive effect on the atmosphere. The big thing for me, what I took away was, especially when I went to Barcelona, was they had we were the opposite end to the ultras, if you like. So you had the ultras at one end, flags, all that, singing, and there was only about 1,000 of them. And I promise you now, the whole rest of the stadium, it was dead. It was horrible. And even we celebrated, because we were learning the songs before we went, me and my lads, and people were looking at us like we had two heads, because we were jumping up and actually celebrating. And I just don't want Anfield to get like that, where it's more about bringing in a fan who we all know you want to. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not like that's where I think some of my videos have come across, where people have gone, "Oh, you don't like people from outside of Liverpool." It's not that. It's not at all. There's lads who are next to me every other week from all over, and they're good lads. I think the big thing is what I was saying about Barcelona there, where they had the ultras one end. I think that's where Liverpool as a club needs to look at it and actually decide, right, if you want day trippers, let's say, what we call them, and hospitality, keep them in the Annie Road. The Annie Road are all singing, but it's in bits, but bring them into the Cop, because that's where the atmosphere is generated. And not for 1 second do I believe that everybody from Liverpool should be in the Cop. What I do know is that I would say a lot more Scousers are up on the feet and will get a little bit leery more than certain people. But it's a massive, massive conversation, mate. But as I say, I didn't want it to come across which I think it might have done, where
It
it's like,
depends who it's talking to and who's listening to it. It might
yeah,
come across wrong to someone that wants to take it in the wrong way, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day,
yeah,
we want to keep Anfield, especially Anfield, is like one of the most iconic stadiums in the world, one of the most iconic crowds in the world. People that come across the world or wherever they come from to watch Liverpool, they come for that atmosphere.
all
So
right,
if they're coming for, which is the ironic thing, they're coming for the atmosphere, and because so many are coming, the
yeah,
atmosphere is dying. And
yeah,
one thing I've always, I didn't grow up in Liverpool. I didn't grow up in Liverpool, but I grew up on Liverpool. If that makes sense, I didn't grow up in Liverpool. What I was taught is to, I was taught to learn Liverpool as the culture is itself, not just the city, but the club itself. I learned how to, my dad used to play You'll Never Walk Alone every single day to me, pretty much
yeah,
on the CD player, and I grew up knowing that constantly,
yeah,
constantly, constantly. And I think I'm not saying that every fan in the world needs to do that, but they need to do a little bit. If they're not familiar with Liverpool or the city itself, they need to do a little bit of research and how
yeah, yeah.
much how the football club is connected to the city and how.
I think what it does affect more so is, all right, the away tickets are great, and everyone, I think they're all 30 nicker, aren't they? So, the hospitality, I know lads who come from Ireland and all that, and they're paying through the roof. That's the only way they can get in the ground, by going through the hospitality. So, certain packages, you get a meal and a, free program and a nice little seat, or, you might get some other little bits added on, or whatever it may be. That's their only way of getting a game. So I understand that. They're only getting it 3 times a year. But as I say, what comes with the hospitality is a lot of people don't get involved in the atmosphere.
Mm.
So this is grown by the minute, this. And this isn't just Liverpool, it's every club.
Yeah, it is,
And that's
yeah.
why every club, I hear it all the time, they're always moaning, the atmosphere is dying, and it's sad, and it's a money game now. And that's all it is, and it'll never ever change. It's only going to get worse. You see all Yanks taking all kinds of clubs over now, Burnley and the lads who took over Exham. You've got ASAP Rocky apparently in session Strammy, what all that's about. To me, something's going to happen. I don't know what, but something's going to change massively in football in the next 10 years, I think. And I
It's
think a lot
literally
of
become a
people,
business. It's become a business more than anything. But
yeah.
football's not a business, so that's the thing. It is a business. It is technically a
Oh,
football club
yeah,
is a business, but it's more
yeah.
than a business. I think a lot of people don't understand that. People that are
Yeah,
taking
but
over these clubs.
no, I know. And I do think eventually, um, a large majority will just be priced out of it. To me, it'll eventually down the line, it will become kind of like an elite sport, and a lot of people will be priced out of it. I think we're going to lose all that, and I see it now. I've seen it with Barcelona. Barcelona is absolutely, it's just full of the day tripper, if you like. They spend, that's all about it in these owners. And it's like me, I go to the game. I just go to the game.
Mm.
I don't buy food and buy this, that, the other, and all that. But if you're savvy and how your business approach into who you're bringing in to the city, they're coming here, they're staying in hotels. You know what I mean? They're buying meals, so they're not only giving money to Liverpool FC, they're giving it to the city of Liverpool.
Yeah.
So it helps everybody, doesn't it? And that's the influx you're seeing now. I mean, if you go, there's an hotel on a street in Liverpool, Hanover Street, massive hotel, and it's absolutely full to the brim of fans coming over. So there's obviously package deals on there, and they're making a lot of money, and they get little scarves given to them in the hotel and all this and that, and I just think there's a lot of Liverpool, Scousers, little ones who are missing out, because it's like me, I'd go with my dad. My little lad is lucky enough to come with me, but there's a lot of little lads who can't. And as I say, I'm not saying every single seat should be a Scouser, not at all, but there's a lot of little kids who just can't get the game, and it's getting filled up with a lot of people from outside,
and it's going to kill. It's going to kill the game of it. It's going to kill English football. He's calling out, and I mean, we saw the week where I think Liverpool did actually freeze the tickets. They are going to freeze the tickets for next season.
Yeah.
It's a step in the right direction, a little bit of a step in the right direction. But what needs to do now is go backwards, and every other club needs to follow suit. Otherwise, the game's going to die. Anyway, let's go back to positive news. Positive news, because we are top of the league. Tommy, we are top of the league.
Yeah.
We are pretty much on the verge of joining Man United on 20 titles.
Mm-hmm.
In the time of being a Liverpool fan, there's been many players, many managers. Who's your top three? Oh, all right, give me your Mount Rushmore, including players and managers. So you got 4 people to go on your Mount Rushmore.
Like top manager and like top players.
Yeah, so it could be all managers, could be all players. Up to you. It could be a mix of managers and players in your lifetime. Only what you've seen.
Just trying to get the sun out of my face here. So for me, oh God, right, Jurgen Klopp, just because he was like your modern day Shankly. He brought it back. He was like, to play under him, it'd just be something else. And there's love slot now, you know what I mean? But Klopp was just something else. I can't speak any more highly enough of him, do you know what I mean? As far as players go, well, I love Kenny Dalglish. Obviously, he was a great manager too. John Barnes, because he was just my hero growing up. Absolute magician. And I think in today's football, I just think he'd run absolute riot, to be honest.
He would. He suits today's football massively, yeah.
He was. And you know what? Luis Suarez was just...
Wow, not Rushmore.
He was just football. Just pure football. Because I don't argue with my half fella, but my half fella loves Dalglish, and he'll always say Dalglish is the best. And I've seen Dalglish, as I say, latter stages, and just like yourself, your half fella playing them, on the videotapes every week. I've seen everything about Dalglish you needed to know about. You could see pure class throughout. But as I say, love Barnes, he was my hero, but as soon as Suarez come, he was just different, mate. And there's not many players who leave Liverpool and go on to even better things, and he did. And for me, for like one maybe 2 seasons, he was better than Messi, because and the reason to say that is just he could play anywhere. You could put him anywhere on a pitch, and he performed and scored every type of goal I think I've ever seen. He was just an animal, and I love the fella, and I'd love to I miss him.
Someone like that. Imagine someone like that now up front with Salah and either wing. That'd be ridiculous. Yeah, I think Suarez is probably the most talented player we've had in my lifetime at Liverpool. It is a shame that we didn't really keep him much longer. It is a shame that he didn't. If we had him for 10 seasons, you're talking unbelievable. He'd be talking this Salah sort of level in terms of Ballon d'Or level. What about Gerard Salah? Not in the conversation, or?
No, not for me, mate. I think listen, we've had many great players, haven't we? I mean, obviously, I haven't even mentioned Gerrard and all that. Like, I weren't old enough to see Shankly, but obviously, you know all about him, and obviously Bob Paisley. You could go on and on and on. From what I've seen, they're my main ones. I think with Mo Salah is that, I think I've said a few times on the TikToks now, like, he's a great scorer. He has a knack of being in the right place at the right time. He's having a brilliant season this season. But that's where it ends for me as far as like Ballon d'Or for me. No.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, listen, don't get me wrong. I think he has a very good chance of winning it. But I just feel that the standard of footballer from what I grew up on, there was so many great players who had a little bit of skill, and they were just class. And I think football at the minute is lacking big time. So
it's become more tactical, hasn't it? It's become more tactical than natural talent.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I don't like about the modern day game. So when I hear obviously I'm old enough to have seen Barnes and many great players. So when I hear like the younger ones saying Salah's better than Barnes, and I can't, it's just, no, not at all. You know, he's, I think Salah is probably one of the best of a very, very bad.
I've not seen a centre-back like him in the Premier League. I've seen, obviously, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, the ones are definitely up there. But Van Dijk, I've never seen much more complete centre-back. I'd say maybe push Alisson Becker because that's probably the best keeper I've seen at Liverpool, which is a push. But yeah, I do get you. I think that's football in general now. I think it's become much more tactical. It's more about the managers now and how they're based on tactics. Like I don't think the managers that are playing now, he likes of Pep Guardiola, I don't think they'd suit the 90s because it was a lot of individual talent. And look at the Ballon d'Or list, but if you look at Ballon d'Or list, it's like R9, Ronaldinho, you know, players like that, Figo, Zidane, Gerrard, Iniesta, players like that up there. It's not the same anymore. You don't get players like that anymore. I think Salah, it's good that he's coming at this time because he's probably the best in the world right now.
Yeah.
But I think that is a big problem in football right now, where you see this is why people go on stats a lot more than eye test. But eye test is still a big part for me.
Oh yeah,
97% of my thing is eye test.
Well, it is. It's like Doku. I mean, I remember City shining him, and he scored 4 on his debut. And you look at Doku, and you know, yeah, he might have the stats and all the X or whatever you look at, but he's crap. You see that Sunday, and he does that week in, week out. He's got no end product. So a lot of the younger fans, I would say, don't understand about footy today. It's so like scripted a game now, and I find it boring, to be honest. I love me footy, but compared to back in the day, I'm sorry, like none of these players nowadays live up to the hype. To be honest, for me, like.
Well, it is a different time of football, but it is a good time right now to be a Liverpool fan.
Oh yeah,
that is one thing, and that is for top of the league.
Listen, matey, at the end of the day, Salah's putting it in the net. He's turning it up.
Yeah,
that's all that matters now. You know, that's just my opinion on past players. But if you're looking on now, he's one of the very best players going. They're the facts of it. He's putting it in the net, top scorer, breaking records. You can't argue with it, and it's sending the Reds to the top. And for me, we'll have the league wrapped up early, to be honest, I think, because I don't think there's anyone close to it.
A guard of honour against Arsenal. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be nice, that, mate, tell you.
Yeah, we are on the verge of making it 20 titles, and it would be a fantastic end to the season. Slott's first season is absolutely crazy when you think about it. When you're losing Jurgen Klopp, you think it felt like the end of the world when he announced that he was leaving. It was absolutely gutting, but can we build on this, do you think?
I think so, yeah. I mean, when you think of the squad we've got, I said this the other day, it's so strong right throughout. Even whether we moan about Núñez or not, he can still come on and have an impact to a degree. And I think a lot of teams in the Premier League, they'd take him, I think. And I think right across the front 3, 4, 5, there's goals. McAllister, Szoboszlai chipping him at the goals. You know, Kanate and Van Dijk at the back, obviously Alisson and goal, very strong spine. We're just, for me, we're too strong. So it is a case of, we all know we need a left back. Robbo's lost that little bit of yard, if you like, half a yard, which I think we'll do that. From what I was told yesterday, I'm not being one of them in the nose, but I was talking to a lad yesterday, he said Van Dijk and Salah are done. He said his 2-year deal's done, Trent's gone. So they'll be staying, and we know who we want. We want someone like Isak or Kuna, and it's just about adding little players, and he'll do that. I think he'll get the money. You got to look at how well we started. Did we need to spend money in January? Really, did we? Yeah, it would have been nice, but you know,
I think it would have been. I think it would have been a must if it was City chasing us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. because but I think, you know, you're looking at it and you're thinking, direct team who we're going at it with us is Arsenal. And Arsenal, I said this to the day, that they're going to drop more points than we are. They're just not good enough. I watched them a few times. They're not the team they were from a season or two ago.
Yeah,
you know,
so
the strength, they haven't got the strength and depth we have. So that's why the first time in my whole life, I think it was like start of December, I was like, I put a video out and I said, we won. Never done that in my life.
Even when we're 25 points clean, never said that.
Yeah, and you should have seen the amount of Man U fans and everyone commenting, saving the video. I was thinking they're going to save that for the end of the season. It's like, you know, if we lose, like.
They're deleting it now, by the way. There's just some bad. Watch all the unbookmarks coming on it. Unbookmarks.
But that's how confidence. I've never ever felt like that. But I thought the strength and depth of the squad that's there to see. So I think Slot really, he has an easy job, doesn't he? Really, in a sense, as long as he brings in the right people, which I'm sure he will, we stay strong at the end of the day. Then, so I think it'd be all right. But
it is important though to keep those two players, especially Salah and Van Dijk for me. Because if we lose those, I think we're already taking a back step a little bit, losing those players. I mean, what Van Dijk brings to us is, I think it goes unnoticed because what Salah does for us as well. What Van Dijk brings to us is something we'll only miss when he's gone.
Definitely.
Massively. Salah, what he brings to us is just pure goals and pure just getting the job done. Because if we don't have Salah, there's a lot of games we don't get the job done and we don't get the 3 points. So if keeping those is absolutely vital to move on in the next few years. If we don't keep those, though, I don't even know what's going to happen because we've got a big summer ahead. Anyway, before we go, then Tommy, last question.
Go on.
What does Liverpool mean to you?
What does Liverpool mean to me? Well, obviously everything. I mean, as I said to you earlier on, mate, days of going with my arm fella, sitting on the cop, experiencing the experiences I've had with them, all the wins, the highs, the lows. It's pretty much everything, and it's in our blood as Scousers, and obviously fans like yourself, mate. We adore the club. It's become something, you know, I've done week in, week out now with me dad for my whole life, and now I'm doing it with my lads. So it's like, it's just everything, mate. And football in general, anyways, everything to me. Never mind Liverpool. It's just, I think it is a city thing, you know, where like I think there's other cities who are like that too, and that's all I can say. It just means everything to you, you know what I mean? So like, it's like this now, this lead up to winning the title. That's why I put a video out earlier. Like, this crowd tonight has got to be absolutely bouncing. I'm always up myself, screaming, shouting, and I want everyone to join in tonight. You know, to me, this is like party time. This is the lead up now to winning the title. We're nearly there. And this is what it all boils down to, being a Red, basically. We need to get them over the finishing line now. So I hope tonight it's absolutely bouncing, do you know what I mean? And I hope that answers your question, mate.
It's, you know what, it's everyone's got a different answer for that, but it's pretty much the same answer. It literally is like everything to everyone, and it's pretty much life, isn't it? Football and Liverpool is life. It's what you've just grown up on. It's what you always know. And tonight is a huge match for Liverpool. And I think every single game right now, especially at Anfield, is literally what he said. It's everyone needs to get behind them now. And we're that so close to making it 20. And it's so nice that we're doing it without COVID. And I've never seen it in my lifetime without. Obviously, the only title I've seen is 2020.
Yeah.
This is perfect now. And the parade, if there is a parade, I'm not saying there is yet. I'm not going to jinx that yet. But if there is a parade, it's going to be the most special parade you've ever seen.
Oh, it's going to be crazy, mate.
Thank you for watching. And yeah, if you do want to be interviewed on this channel, make sure you let me know in the DMs as well. Thank you for watching. Make sure you do like this video, subscribe to the channel, and get your notification bells on as well. Thank you, Tommy. And make sure you do follow Tommy on TikTok as well. Vero Calcio on TikTok. He is there all the time giving you matchday content as well as much more. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, guys.